कळवलंय ना की आहे सुरू
Yes,
झालं म्हणून?
yes, ma'am.
किरण देवटे मॅडम पण बोलणार आहेत का? देवटे मॅडम.
हाँ, गुड मॉर्निंग मैम.
हाँ. राऊत सर पण आलेत का?
मॅम करूया स्टार्ट.
हो करूया, मला काहीच प्रॉब्लेम नाही, करूया सर आपण सुरुवात. म्हणजे तुमचा वेळेत अटकेल.
Good morning all. My name is Dr. Vikram Pandit, and today we are gathered here for the webinar on how to study or how to prepare for this MSc entrance exams as well as SET, NET, GATE and PET exams. Today we have with us Dr. Nita Bokil ma'am. She is in charge of arts faculty from H.V. Desai College. Today's speaker is your well-known and this program's coordinator, Professor Vaishnavi Thorat ma'am. I welcome you all from the PGK Mandal's Haribhai V. Desai College. Now I request Dr. Kiran Devte ma'am, PG coordinator, Physics Department, to introduce Bokil ma'am. Kiran ma'am.
Hello. Okay. Welcome, Professor Dr. Nita Bokil ma'am. Let me introduce about Professor Dr. Nita Bokil ma'am. She has been faculty in charge and head of the Department of Political Science at the Haribhai V. Desai College, Pune. She has a teaching experience of more than 30 years at both UG and PG levels. She completed her PhD under the guidance of renowned scholar Professor Suhas Palsikar in 2008, and the thesis was titled Political History of Maharashtra from 1960 to 1972. She has published both textbooks and reference books and numerous articles in reputed journals. So with this brief introduction, I again welcome Dr. Professor Nita Bokil ma'am. Thank you ma'am.
Thank you madam.
Yes, Bokil ma'am, you can guide us now.
Okay. Thank you for nice
Yes.
introduction, Kiran ma'am. Good morning one and all. नमस्कार. मी सर्वप्रथम आपल्या महाविद्यालयातील केमिस्ट्री डिपार्टमेंटने जे 8 दिवसाचा स्टुडंट सेंट्रिक सेमिनार वेबिनार म्हणजे आयोजित केला त्याबद्दल या वेबिनारचे जे कोऑर्डिनेटर आहेत डॉक्टर विक्रम पंडित यांचं मी अभिनंदन करते. तसेच या वेबिनार मध्ये मला आपल्याशी संवाद साधण्याची जी संधी दिली त्याबद्दल आभारही मानते. आपण सर्व विद्यार्थी ही एंट्रन्स परीक्षा MSc ची एंट्रन्स परीक्षा क्रॅक करणार आहात याची माझ्या मनात अजिबात शंका नाहीये आणि ते गृहीत धरूनच तुम्हा सर्वांचे हरिभाई व्ही देसाई महाविद्यालयात मनापासून स्वागत करते. हे महाविद्यालय पुना गुजराती केळवणी मंडळ या पॅरेंट बॉडीच्या अंतर्गत काम करते आणि ते पुणे विद्यापीठाशी संलग्नित आहे. अजूनही आपण ऑटोनॉमस स्टेटस घेतलेला नाहीये. आपण सावित्रीबाई फुले पुणे विद्यापीठाच्या अंतर्गतच आहोत. पुण्यातील मध्यवर्ती भागात वसलेले हे नामांकित कॉलेज असून सावित्रीबाई फुले विद्यापीठातर्फे बेस्ट कॉलेज अवॉर्ड सुद्धा या महाविद्यालयाने प्राप्त केला आहे. ज्या पवित्र वास्तूत तुम्ही प्रवेश घेणार आहात त्या वास्तूला फार मोठा ऐतिहासिक संदर्भ आहे. कॉलेजच्या पुढे ज्या बाजीराव पेशव्यांनी मराठी झेंडा अटकेपार नेला ती पवित्र वास्तू शनिवारवाडा आहे. जिजाऊ माऊलीने जेथून सोन्याचा नांगर फिरवला तो लाल महाल व जेथून नाना फडणवीसांनी निस्पृहपणे न्यायदान केले तो नानावाडा कॉलेजच्या उजव्या बाजूला आहे. जेथून महाराष्ट्र व देशभरातील राजकारणाची सूत्रे चालवली जातात ते सकाळ प्रेस डाव्या बाजूला आहे. तर कॉलेजच्या मागच्या बाजूला भाऊ रंगारी यांनी सुरू केलेला पहिला मानाचा गणपती आहे. या वास्तूच्या ऐतिहासिक संदर्भाबरोबरच वर्तमानकालीन संदर्भही म्हणजे प्रेझेंट कॉन्टेक्स्ट आर ऑल्सो व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. ही वास्तू 5 मजली असून सुसज्ज ग्रंथालय आहे. प्रत्येक विषयाच्या स्वतंत्र प्रयोगशाळा आहेत, वायफाय कनेक्टिव्हिटी आहेत, कॉम्प्युटर लॅब आहेत, कॅन्टीन आहेत. त्याचबरोबर CCTV कॅमेऱ्याने हे सर्व कॉलेज क्षेत्र आहे ते सुरक्षित केले आहे. या महाविद्यालयातून उत्तीर्ण झालेले अनेक विद्यार्थी आपले परदेशात आणि आपल्या देशात शासकीय आणि खाजगी संस्थांमधून महत्वाच्या जागी काम करत आहेत. आणि मला सांगायला अतिशय अभिमान वाटतो की हे सर्व आमचे विद्यार्थी आमच्या अजूनही संपर्कात आहे. आपल्या कॉलेजची माजी विद्यार्थी संघटना ही खूप स्ट्रॉंग आहे. हा कॉलेजचा प्लस पॉइंट आहे आणि कॉलेजच्या दृष्टीने ही फार मोठी अभिमानाची गोष्ट आहे. कोणतेही कॉलेज हे त्याच्या अध्यापकांच्या वरून ओळखले जाते. आपल्या महाविद्यालयातही जवळजवळ 80% अध्यापक हे PhD प्राप्त केलेले आहेत आणि त्यामुळे त्यांच्या ज्ञानाचा, व्यासंगाचा, त्यांच्या संशोधन वृत्तीचा विद्यार्थ्यांना निश्चितच उपयोग होतो. आपले शिक्षक हे केवळ शिक्षकच नाही तर ते विद्यार्थी प्रिय आहेत आणि विद्यार्थी केंद्रीय उपक्रम ते सतत राबवत असतात. सो मेनी स्टुडंट सेंट्रिक ऍक्टिव्हिटीज हॅव बीन स्टार्टेड बाय आवर स्टाफ मेंबर्स. या महाविद्यालयातील स्पोर्ट्स, NSS, विद्यार्थी कल्याण मंडळ, कल्चरल डिपार्टमेंट यामधूनही विद्यार्थ्यांच्या सर्वांगीण विकासाकडे पूर्णतः लक्ष दिले जाते. म्हणूनच अशा ऐतिहासिक व वर्तमानकालीन उत्तम संदर्भ असलेल्या वास्तूत तुम्ही प्रवेश घेऊन आमच्या महाविद्यालयाचे भविष्य उज्ज्वल कराल याची मला खात्री आहे. मी तुम्हाला तुमच्या एंट्रन्स परीक्षेसाठी मनापासून शुभेच्छा देते. निरोप देण्यापूर्वी एकच सांगते, मनापासून तयारी करून एंट्रन्स द्या. कारण पर्पज ऑफ एंट्रन्स एक्झाम इज नॉट ओनली टू जज युअर टॅलेंट बट ऑल्सो टू टेस्ट युअर मॅनेजमेंट अँड प्लॅनिंग स्किल्स. The whole concept of any entrance exam is based on strategic thinking and smart work. Life is a race. If you don't run fast, you will be like a broken glass. आपण आपल्याला सक्षम करण्यासाठी अशा एंट्रन्स परीक्षांना सामोरं गेलं पाहिजे. कारण एंट्रन्स एक्झाममुळे आपलं कॉन्फिडन्स बिल्डिंग होतं, आपली कौशल्य विकसित होतात. इतरांशी, समवयस्क मुलांशी तुलना झाल्याने आपण नेमके कोणत्या पातळीवर आहोत याची आपल्याला जाणीव होते. आपल्या अनालिटिकल स्किल्स वाढतात. आपल्याला वेगवेगळ्या अशा एंट्रन्स एक्झाम दिल्यामुळे फॉरेन युनिव्हर्सिटीची दारे सुद्धा फॉरेन युनिव्हर्सिटीज ओपनिंग्स हे अवेलेबल होतात आणि त्यामुळे आपल्या करिअरची निवड करण्यासाठी सुद्धा अशा एंट्रन्स एक्झाम या फार उपयुक्त असतात. आपल्या महाविद्यालयाने अशी एंट्रन्स एक्झाम तुमच्यासाठी खुली करून तुम्हाला स्वतःला जज करण्याची जी एक संधी प्राप्त करून दिली आहे त्याचा तुम्ही सर्वजण निश्चितच फायदा घ्याल अशी मी आशा व्यक्त करते आणि मला बोलायची संधी दिली त्याबद्दल पुन्हा एकदा आभार मानते आणि तुमचा निरोप घेते. धन्यवाद.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for guiding our students, and they will be utilizing this opportunity and they will join us very shortly. Now we have today's presenter, Professor Vaishnavi Thorat. So let me introduce her. Ma'am did her post-graduation from Savitribai Phule Pune University with A+ grade, and she also qualified Savitribai Phule Pune University's state eligibility test, that is SET examination, in 2017. She did her graduation from SHGM College, Kopargaon. She has a teaching experience in Arts, Commerce and Science College, Parner, as well as she is now working with HV Desai College from July 2019 till date. In her account, she had done the project on synthesis of chalcone derivatives and their biological activities. She also attended 7 days course on advanced organometallic chemistry. She has completed a certificate course on chromatographic techniques. Also, she participated in quiz competition in ICER. Also, she's having a various awards and achievements in her account. Like award, she was awarded with NS Narasimha Education Research Trust Scholarship. Then also awarded with Savitribai Phule Gunwant Vidyarthi Scholarship in 2016. She had first rank in final year of BSc, second rank in second year of BSc, and as well as first rank in SSC. So she has also the experience of a technical experience, which is very important in terms of analytical chemistry. So she knows the ultraviolet spectroscopy, GC, GCMH, SPLC, and all type of column chromatograms very well. So with this brief introduction, now I request Professor Vaishnavi Thorat ma'am kindly guide us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind introduction. Just a minute, I will share my screen. Sir, is the screen visible?
It's coming.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is the screen visible to everyone?
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Yes.
So as the today's webinar is based on how to prepare for MSc Chemistry entrance exams. So there are various entrance exams conducted by different institutes to get admission to the PG courses or any course. You need to crack entrance exam. Nowadays, entrance exam is very important to get admission in any stream. It may be arts stream, commerce stream, science stream, or even to get a government job, you need to crack entrance exam such as UPSC, MPSC. So there are different exams in chemistry also conducted by different universities, such as our Savitribai Phule Pune University also conducts entrance exam to get admission for the PG courses. Even if you want admission in professional courses, engineering, medical, you need to crack the JEE entrance exam or AIPMT entrance exam. So these are the different entrance exams carried out by different institutes. Today, we will discuss about the entrance exam for MSc Chemistry and the strategy for that entrance exam. So to start the preparation of any entrance exam, first you should know the pattern of that examination, the marking system of that examination, and the syllabus. If you just start randomly reading books or moving here and there in different coaching classes, it will be very difficult for you to crack that examination, because having a thorough knowledge of the pattern of examination, the syllabus of examination is the key aspect, or is the first step to crack that entrance examination. When I started preparation of entrance exam, when I was in MSc, there was a set exam notification released in 2016. So I decided to give that examination. I was very confused where to start. I have n number of books, n number of notes, and there are various study material available in university. Also, someone is telling something, or any other student is telling that this exam is very difficult. I was very confused where to start. Then I started searching on internet. Everyone has smartphone nowadays. I started searching on internet. What is the syllabus of examination? What is the pattern of examination? And then one by one, I got the clear idea how to crack that examination. Based on my strategy, today I'm going to give this lecture how to crack the MSc entrance exam also, and even the SET examination. The NET, CSIR NET, then GATE exams are also there, but the pattern is slightly different. So I will be focusing on SET and MSc entrance exam conducted by SPPU as well as the colleges affiliated to SPPU, because the syllabus of entrance examination at college level as well as at university level is a bit similar. That's why I will be focusing on the SET and the MSc entrance examination. I hope I am clearly audible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
So first we'll discuss about the pattern of examination, marks distribution, syllabus of the entrance exam for university, Savitribai Phule Pune University. Even for other universities, the syllabus is more or less similar. Chemistry is chemistry everywhere, it will not change. Only the syllabus or the examination pattern will vary with different institutes. Then the study material. This is the big point, or this study material is very important to start the preparation. So we will discuss in detail later. Previous year question paper discussion, then revision tips, how to make short notes, how to or the study timetable, how many hours you need to spend while preparing for any entrance exam. So let's start. So these are some steps to qualify any entrance exam. Not only for chemistry, for any entrance exam, you need to follow these steps. Then the success is yours. Step 1 is syllabus. For whenever you fill the form of any entrance examination, before filling the form, see the syllabus, see the pattern of examination, and then decide whether you want to give that examination or not. So the step 1 is syllabus. Step 2 is exam pattern and marking scheme. As soon as you fill the form of that examination, see the exam pattern, marking scheme, for how many marks that exam is going to be conducted. Then see there is negative marking or not. So these points will help you while preparing for that examination. Then the next is study material. As soon as you get the idea about the syllabus and the examination pattern, start collecting study material. So this is the third step. Then whenever you complete your study, actually there is no ending of study while preparing any examination. Always you feel that this is remaining or that is remaining. So whenever you feel that your preparation is 80%, 70% my preparation is completed. Start solving the question paper or solve last year's question paper. I will tell you, while starting or before giving any exam, you need to analyze the previous year question papers, and you need to sort out the topics. Then the fifth step is solve mock test. Mock test means what? It is a combination of different topics and the questions related to that topic, and in a given time span you need to solve those questions, called as a mock test. Okay. Then the next step is solve different sample papers. Sample paper means solve the papers whichever you get from different websites or from different educational institutes, their entrance exam papers, solve different sample papers. So these are the steps, these are the 6 steps you need to follow while preparing for any entrance examination, not only for MSc. You can follow this strategy or you can follow these steps for preparing even for UPSC examination also. You need to see the syllabus, and as you can see, this triangle goes on increasing from top to bottom. Top to bottom, the size increases. It means that don't just focus on syllabus. It is just a small step to see that syllabus, but it is initial step, and you need to start from that small initial. You need to take that small initiative to start the preparation of that entrance exam. Then go on increasing your efforts, and you will end up with solve different sample papers. So solving of different sample paper, question paper is very, very important for cracking any entrance exam. If you know 100%, if you have 100% theoretical knowledge, if you have any conceptual knowledge very clear, but if you don't know how to tackle the MCQ, how to approach that MCQ, then your knowledge will be of no use. If you know a reference book, standard reference book, and if you start mugging that reference book, it will be of no use. It is just a sheer wastage of time. So whenever you are studying for any entrance exam, before starting the preparation, keep the question papers with you and the syllabus copy with you. It may be the soft copy or hard copy. And whenever you start preparing topic wise, subject wise, then that time along with the topic, keep the questions with you for that topic. Then and then it is possible to move successfully towards cracking the examination. Otherwise, it will be just a wastage of time. You are preparing but not properly, then it is just a sheer wastage of time. So to start preparation, or to start whenever you decide that you want to prepare for this exam, keep the syllabus copy and the previous year question papers with you. Then the next is we'll see the pattern of examination, entrance examination, and the marking scheme conducted by Savitribai Phule Pune University, as well as the colleges affiliated to Savitribai Phule Pune University. The pattern will vary with the institute, but more or less it is same. There are 100 questions with 1 mark each or 2 mark each. Means if 1 mark each question is there, 100 questions, the exam will be of 100 marks. Or when one question is for 2 marks, then the exam will be of 200 marks. So this is the pattern of examination, or the number of questions and the marking scheme. No negative marking. As per my knowledge, for MSc entrance exam conducted by Savitribai Phule University and the colleges affiliated to SPPU, there is no negative marking for the entrance exam, and even for set exam conducted by SPPU, there is no negative marking. Nowadays, in this pandemic era, online exams are conducted. So earlier it was offline, but nowadays it is the mode of examination is online. So there is no negative marking. Exam duration is 3 hours. Some institutes provide 2 hours. So it depends. Between 2 to 3 hours, the exam duration varies. Then, if the negative marking is mentioned, always see on the top of question paper, it is mentioned in bold, negative marking or no negative marking. So always, whenever you solve any question paper or whenever you are appearing for any examination in your future or for MSc entrance, see on the top of that question paper, it is always mentioned that negative marking is there or not. So always see that negative marking is there or not. It will help you a lot. It will decide your result. When negative marking is mentioned, don't just solve all the questions. Try to solve the questions you know very well or the answers you know very well. Don't guess or don't tick on confusing answers. It will reduce your marks. Negative marking means what? Negative marking म्हणजे तुम्हाला जे मार्क्स मिळतात, करेक्ट मार्क किंवा तुम्ही एक क्वेश्चन सॉल्व केला तो करेक्ट आहे, पण तुम्ही दुसरा क्वेश्चन रॉंग सॉल्व केला तर तुम्हाला जो करेक्ट क्वेश्चनचे मार्क्स मिळतील त्याच्यातून तुमचे काही मार्क्स परत कट होतील. म्हणजे निगेटिव्ह मार्किंग म्हणजे फक्त रॉंग क्वेश्चनचे मार्क्स किंवा रॉंग आन्सर तुम्ही जे टिक केलं त्याचे मार्क्स तर कट होणारच आहेत, पण तुम्ही जे बरोबर सॉल्व केलं होतं त्यातून सुद्धा 1/3 1/4 असे काही मार्क्स कट होतात. तर याला म्हणायचं निगेटिव्ह मार्किंग. बऱ्याच जणांना निगेटिव्ह मार्किंग म्हणजे काय ते क्लिअरच होत नाही. इवन मला पण BSc पर्यंत माहिती नव्हतं की निगेटिव्ह मार्किंग म्हणजे काय. निगेटिव्ह मार्किंग म्हणजे असंच वाटायचं की आपण जो चुकीचा क्वेश्चन किंवा एखादा क्वेश्चन आपण चुकीचा सॉल्व्ह केला की त्याचे मार्क्स कट होणार, पण हे तर नॉर्मली आपल्या एक्झाम मध्ये होतच. पण ज्यावेळी तुम्ही निगेटिव्ह मार्किंग सिस्टीम असलेली एक्झाम देता त्यावेळी तुम्हाला फक्त मोस्ट करेक्ट किंवा तुम्ही ज्या क्वेश्चनच्या बाबतीत शुअर आहात तेच क्वेश्चन तुम्ही अप्रोच करायचे असतात किंवा तेच क्वेश्चन तुम्ही सॉल्व्ह करायचे असतात. ओके, तर निगेटिव्ह मार्किंग सिस्टीमचा मोटिव्ह काय आहे किंवा ती सिस्टीम राबवण्याचं जे हेतू काय आहे, तर ते म्हणजे मुलांचा कन्सेप्च्युअल नॉलेज चेक करणे. जनरली काय होतं, लक फॅक्टर मॅटर करतो. कधी कधी काय होतं की निगेटिव्ह मार्किंग नसेल तर आपण रॅन्डमली आन्सर्स टिक करतो, बऱ्यापैकी आपले आन्सर्स सॉल्व्ह केलेले करेक्ट येतात आणि कधी कधी आपण गेस वर्क करतो तर तेही करेक्ट येतं. त्यामुळे काय होतं की आपलं जे ऍक्च्युअल नॉलेज आहे ते इम्प्लिमेंट करण्यासाठी आपल्याला वाव राहत नाही. म्हणून निगेटिव्ह मार्किंग सिस्टीम असलेल्या एक्झाम्स क्रॅक करणं थोडंसं अवघड जातं मुलांना ॲज कम्पेअर टू नो निगेटिव्ह मार्किंग. पण सध्या तरी सावित्रीबाई फुले युनिव्हर्सिटीमध्ये निगेटिव्ह मार्किंग सिस्टीम असलेली एक्झाम नाहीये. ओके, मे बी फ्युचरमध्ये असेलही. सो बी प्रिपेअर फॉर दॅट. UPSC सारख्या ज्या एक्झाम्स आहेत त्यांच्यामध्ये निगेटिव्ह मार्किंग आहे. CSIR, नेट, गेट, they also have negative marking system. So whenever negative marking is mentioned, try to solve only those questions which you know and you are sure about that. Avoid guesswork or confusing answers. And whenever you feel that you need to solve more questions to crack the merit of that examination, so to take a calculated risk while attempting extra questions. Calculate the marks while solving the paper and take the calculated risk. Then and then attempt few extra questions. Don't just blindly tick on the questions or the options. It will reduce your marks. So whenever the negative marking is mentioned, you need to be very careful while attempting the questions. It doesn't mean that while solving the examination, having no negative marking, just blindly solve the questions. There also you need knowledge, and here also you need knowledge. So always try to study, try to complete your syllabus 60 to 80%, 80% maximum before attempting or before giving any entrance examination. It is not possible to complete the 100% syllabus. It will take 1 year, 1.5 years, but you need to prepare within 2 to 3 months or maximum 6 months. Nowadays, because of this pandemic situation, you need to prepare within 1 to 2 months only. So that time you cannot cover the entire syllabus. You cannot cover 100% syllabus. So choose the topic which you want to, which you know very well, or you are confident about those topics that yes, I can do this in less time. There is no shortcut for cracking any entrance examination. There are short tricks. There is no shortcut. So there are short tricks. Whenever you feel that this topic, I can do this topic, so you just start preparing for that topic, make short notes, and then you realize that I can develop a short trick by after studying that topic. I can develop a short trick for this. Everyone has some creativity in their mind. Everyone can develop a short trick according to their understanding. Short trick doesn't mean that mugging up that topic. Short trick means a mnemonic model. You need some memorizing tips for that particular point. It is not possible to remember each and every topic in detail for any entrance examination. No one can remember every topic, every concept. It will take several years, and nowadays the pattern and the syllabus is updating every year or every 2 to 3 years. The pattern and the syllabus is updating. So it will become very difficult. The difficulty level is also increasing. That time what you need is a strategic approach. Strategic approach means first you should know the strategy to crack that entrance examination. Okay. Then the final merit list is based on the theory marks and entrance exam marks. For SPPU, on the colleges affiliated to SPPU, the final merit list is based on the entrance exam marks, 50% entrance exam marks and 50% your theory marks, theory examination. Because of this pandemic, even the theory exam is conducted in MCQ format. So this lecture or this webinar, it will help you to crack your regular entrance exam, not entrance, your regular theory exam to get more marks. See, marks is not everything, but it will matter whenever you want admission, because there is a merit list. When merit list is released, merit list, the meaning of this word indicates that you need to secure a good rank. You need to secure a good position in that list to get the admission. Because for one seat or two seat in college or in university, 10 to 12 students are from the same category, what you can say. So there are reservation system. Students are appearing from based on the merit list as well as from different reservation. So for one or two seat, n number of students are there. For one seat, 50 students are waiting. What you will do at that time? You will not get the admission if you have lower rank. So marks matter when you are appearing for any entrance exam. you need to secure that rank, you need to secure good marks for getting the admission. Entrance means entry. This is the entry point. After that, after getting admission, you can change your approach. You can change your preparation strategy for that subject. But to get the admission or to crack that particular entrance examination, you need to be very specific. Stick to that syllabus, stick to the pattern of the examination, then and then you can crack. If you say that I will not follow this syllabus, this is not given in our syllabus. If anyone is appearing from other university to get the admission in other university, okay, let's take example, Shivaji University student is appearing for Pune University student. I'm not blaming any university, I'm just telling the example. Shivaji University student is appearing for Pune University entrance examination, and if he sees the syllabus, he or she whenever he see the syllabus, he or she will find that many of the points are not given in their syllabus, which are given in the SPPU entrance exam syllabus. So he or she cannot say that I will not do this point, because to crack that university examination, he or she need to do those points or that syllabus only. He cannot do the irrelevant point except the entrance exam syllabus. So stick to the syllabus, stick to the examination pattern, and to start the preparation, you need to analyze the question paper. Analyzing question paper is the I will say the 50% work is done whenever you start analyzing question paper and the syllabus. 50% work will be done, only 50% preparation is remaining. If you see the question paper and analyze the question paper, no need to ask anyone, or means you can ask anyone who is having experience, but before asking or before moving here and there in different coaching classes, or just confusing, to avoid confusion, first you just analyze yourself as well as analyze the question paper and analyze the syllabus, and then decide you want to give that exam or not. This is the first key step, I will say, before moving here and there or spending money going in metro cities for the preparation. I'm not in oppose of coaching classes or going to the metro cities for the preparation, but before going, first analyze yourself that what is the level of your knowledge and where you want to go, and then decide where you will go, where you really want to go. Okay, then know the MSc entrance exam syllabus. Now I will share the copy of entrance exam syllabus and we'll discuss the points from the chemistry syllabus. We'll discuss each and every point, and then again we'll see the timetable and the revision tips for this entrance exam. Check the website regularly after filling examination form for updated information. Updated dates are there. Sometimes they update, they give update of or reminder of documentation. So always check the website regularly after filling the examination form, not daily, but try to check within 1 week or twice or thrice a week. Read the pattern of examination carefully because it differs with institute or universities. Download the syllabus from official website. What we do, or what students does, they just start or download the syllabus from unofficial websites. It may vary because the websites are also not updated every time. So always download the syllabus from official website. If you want to give the examination of SPPU, go to the Unipune website and download the syllabus. Don't just download it from the unofficial or other websites. Then sort out the topics into two categories. First, take a hard copy of that exam syllabus, or take a soft copy. Nowadays, everyone has smartphone, laptops, tablets, so you can highlight the PDF in your smartphone, okay, smart devices. So sort out the syllabus into two categories: the topics you learn and the topics you know very well from your BSc or from even from 11th standard. The topic you know very well, those topics make it separate, and the topics you don't know or you feel that these topics are a bit difficult to approach, sort out into two categories: simple or the easy, or you can do that easily, those topics, and the topics you don't know or you haven't studied those topics. Some topics are there, so everyone cannot study every topic, or everyone cannot have every knowledge. So make those topics separately, list of those topics, and write it down in a diary or in a notebook or on a page. Whenever you feel, or whenever you sort out the list, easy topic, difficult topic, count the numbers, count the number of topics. If the number of topics you know is greater than the number of topics you don't know, then it will be very easy for you. But if the number of topics you don't know is greater than the number of topics you know, that time it will be bit difficult to crack the entrance examination without any strategic approach. So whenever you get the number of topics, simple, easy and difficult topics, analyze yourself and decide what you want to do. If you really want to give that examination, if you really want to crack that examination, start doing the difficult topic. I will not say neglect the simple or easy topics, but work on difficult topics, give more time for difficult topics, and solve more and more questions regarding to those topics. Then it will help you to crack that examination. If you will say, I'm not going to do this topic, I will just do only these 5 topics, and if there are 25 topics in the syllabus, and if you say that I will not do the remaining 20 topics, I will only do the 5 topics, you cannot crack examination. It will be very difficult even to get passing marks with those 5 topics. So don't neglect the difficult topic. Always do the simple one as well as the difficult one. Both. You need to maintain the balance between the topics. So sort out the topics into 2 categories, easy and difficult, according to you. Then no need to study entire syllabus. If you download the copy of syllabus and if you count the topics, and if there are 55 topics in the syllabus, and that time you decide, I'm not going to give this exam, it will be very difficult to cover 55 points. It is not necessary to do entire syllabus. No need to do entire syllabus. You can select the most frequently asked topics and the questions from the frequently asked topics. Then you can easily crack the entrance exam. You can skip some topics. No need to do the entire syllabus. Download previous year question papers. Whenever you are downloading the syllabus, simultaneously download the previous year question papers. If you just download the syllabus and start preparing, it will be very difficult to get or to know which topic is frequently asked. If you don't know the question paper, for that particular university or for that particular institute, then how can you prepare? How can you do the topics? Which topic you want to do more, or which topic has less weightage, which topic has more weightage? How can you get to know this? By analyzing the question papers. You will not get the hard copy. You can easily download the soft copy from the website. There are different institutes which are conducting the entrance exams. You can download the different question papers from different university websites, because chemistry is everywhere. Everywhere the chemistry is same. The concept will remain same. Organic chemistry is organic chemistry in university, Pune University also, and in Delhi University also. So the topics or the concept will remain same. Questions will remain same. Only the weightage will vary. Some university will give more weightage to some points, and some university will give less weightage to the same point. So to get this information, you need to have the previous year question papers. Previous year question papers असतातच त्यासाठी की जे कोणी फ्युचर मध्ये अपियर करतील ह्या एक्झाम साठी त्यांना तो पॅटर्न माहिती व्हावा, त्यासाठी ते पेपर्स असतात. सो download previous year question papers, then analyze papers. What you have to do in chemistry, we have organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, physical, analytical, biochemistry. For MSc entrance exam, biochemistry is also there. So organic, inorganic, physical, analytical, biochemistry. These 5 subjects are there. Out of these 5, you need to do only 3 subjects very well, thoroughly. 3 subjects. According to the syllabus, you need to do these 3 subjects. So what you have to do? Make 3 columns, inorganic, organic, physical, and write down the name of topic in every column. Inorganic चे टॉपिक्स लिहायचे, ऑर्गॅनिकच्या कॉलम मध्ये ऑर्गॅनिकचे टॉपिक्स आणि फिजिकलच्या कॉलम मध्ये फिजिकलचे टॉपिक, की जे तुम्ही करणार आहात आणि जे तुम्हाला व्यवस्थित माहिती आहे आणि ज्याच्यावर फ्रिक्वेंटली क्वेश्चन्स विचारले गेलेले आहेत. आणि प्रत्येक कॉलम मध्ये सपोज तुम्ही ऑर्गॅनिकचा एक टॉपिक घेतला स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी, आणि त्याच्या समोर एक्झाम मध्ये किती क्वेश्चन विचारले गेले ते लिहायचे. सपोज 10 क्वेश्चन जर स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपीवर विचारले जात असतील एका एंट्रन्स एक्झाम मध्ये, याचा अर्थ तो टॉपिक खूप इम्पॉर्टंट आहे. आणि सपोज एखादा टॉपिक असा आहे जसं की अनालिटिकल आहे, अनालिटिकलवर इतके क्वेश्चन विचारले जात नाही, तर अनालिटिकल केमिस्ट्री मधले सपोज 5च क्वेश्चन विचारले, 5 नाही 2च क्वेश्चन विचारले, रेअरली ते पण अल्टरनेट इयरला 2-3 असे क्वेश्चन तुम्हाला बघायला मिळाले. You can skip that topic. No need to do the complete topic, analytical chemistry. If you start reading R.D. Brown and the Spook for 2 questions, so it will be the sheer wastage of time. You need to focus on those topics which are frequently asked in the examination. Okay, all of you are getting me? Yes. If you have any doubt, just raise your hand and you can ask in between, or you can ask at the end of the session also. Make a note of these topics. As I told you, make 3 columns: inorganic, physical, organic, and biochemistry. Even biochemistry has good weightage. I found yesterday I found many questions on biomolecules, proteins, lipids, enzymes. We'll discuss that later. But biochemistry has good weightage in your MSc entrance. Even for set examination also, many questions are asked on the biochemistry topic. Keep those topics which are rarely asked. You don't need to waste your time or don't need to study the topics which are rarely asked. If you have time, if you are preparing before 1 year, if you start the entrance exam preparation before 1 year, and you decided that I want to get admission in this university and I want to prepare for the entrance exam right now. If the exam is in July 2022 and if you start preparing in July 2021, then you can do the entire syllabus, or you can do the 90% syllabus. That time you have more time, you will get more time. But if you want to prepare within less time more effectively, only do those topics which are frequently asked. Okay, next is, okay, there are subjects: organic, inorganic, physical, and biochemistry. So right now we'll focus on only these 4 subjects. Okay, now I'll share the PDF of syllabus. For that, I need to stop presenting this. Tell me, the screen is visible or not?
Not yet, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, it's visible now.
Okay. Just a minute. While
Yes, ma'am, it's visible now. Syllabus of MSc Chemistry entrance examination. Hello, ma'am. Please unmute yourself. Vaishnavi, ma'am.
sorry, I muted myself. Okay, I hope it's visible and audible
Yes.
clearly. So this is the syllabus for the MSc Chemistry entrance examination for SPPU and the colleges affiliated to SPPU. So first we'll discuss the topics related to physical chemistry. Which topics have more weightage, and you cannot skip these topics. All the syllabus or all the topics given in this syllabus are equally important, but the highlighted topics, you cannot skip these topics. You need to do this topic. So the first is physical chemistry, basic principles and applications of quantum mechanics. So at your BSc level, you don't have detailed quantum mechanics, but the basics of quantum mechanics are given. I think it is in the BSc third year. Quantum mechanics is given in BSc third year. So one point I forget to tell you, BSc, it is a 3-year course. So BSc first year, second year, third year. And the specialization subject, according to the SPPU, the specialization subject we study in third year. So in third year, throughout the year, we study only chemistry. So whenever you are appearing for the entrance examination, your third year syllabus will contribute 70% in your entrance exam syllabus, or it will be 70% similar to the theory syllabus from third year BSc. Again, the second year BSc, we have chemistry subject. In first year BSc also, we have chemistry subject. And even in 11-12 standard, we have chemistry subject. So by considering from 11 to SY BSc chemistry subject, it is 30% weightage. But your third year BSc syllabus, it has 70% weightage. So you need to focus more on your third year BSc syllabus. So this quantum mechanics part, it is given in third year BSc. Particle in one dimensional box. This point is very, very important. Every year, 1 to 3 questions are asked on this single point, particle in one dimensional box. Then the next is chemical kinetics, order chemical kinetics. It has high weightage in all the competitive examination in chemistry. केमिस्ट्रीच्या जितक्या काही कॉम्पिटेटिव्ह एक्झाम्स अवेलेबल आहेत थ्रूआउट इंडियामध्ये जितक्या एक्झाम्स घेतल्या जातात फ्रॉम BSc एंट्रन्स अप टू और फ्रॉम MSc एंट्रन्स अप टू UPSC सगळीकडे केमिकल कायनेटिक्सला हाय वेटेज आहे. केमिकल कायनेटिक्स, and if you want to do this chemical kinetics in less time, you should do these highlighted points very thoroughly. You can do other also, but these points are very, very important. Order, molecularity, the difference between order and molecularity, half-life method, and the numericals formulae related to the half-life method, Arrhenius equation, and the related numericals to the Arrhenius equation. These topics are very, very important from this chemical kinetics. Okay. Then you can do the other also, order of reaction, zero order, first order, second order, but when you have less time, that time stick to the topics which are most frequently asked topics. The next is basics of atomic structure. Basics of atomic structure is nothing but the periodic table. Actually, this is a part of general chemistry, electronic configuration, shape of orbitals. And whenever you are preparing for any chemistry entrance exam, you should know the periodic table thoroughly. Many students I found, they are getting admission in PG, but they don't know the symbol of element. So it's a very, I will say it's a very bad thing that the chemistry student who is doing post-graduation and he or she don't know the element symbol. So it's very harmful to that student. It will not affect the teacher, but again it will be the loss of your knowledge and it will not help you in long run. It will just a piece of paper degree. So if you want to do the career in chemistry, first do the first step, periodic table, name of elements, their electronic configuration, shape of orbitals, understood the difference between each and every term involved in that periodic table. Periodic table is the heart of chemistry and you cannot skip that part. So basics of atomic structure, electronic configuration, shape of orbitals. Then comes the electrolytic conductance. I will suggest you just do this topic from the 12th standard book. Very nice explanation is given in 12th standard textbook for this topic, electrolytic conductance. Electrolytic conductance, specific and equivalent conductance, and it is given in simple language. Polar's law. These topics frequently asked in examination from this point, electrolytic conductance. Thermodynamics, I found this topic very difficult, so I will I always skip this topic, but if anyone found this topic easy and easy to understood, he or she can do this topic. But if you want to prepare in less time, it will consume your time. Thermodynamics consume your time. So I will suggest that at least do the 3 statement of thermodynamics. First law, second law, third law statement. Because BSc entrance exam is MSc entrance exam is based on the BSc syllabus. So they will not ask you very difficult questions. Question paper is set on 3 different levels: simple, moderate, and difficult. So if we consider the simple and moderate level, simple and moderate level questions, maximum questions are there, and difficult level questions are very less. Sometimes straightforward questions are asked, such as first law of thermodynamics. Which of the following is the statement of first law of thermodynamics? Which of the following is the statement of third law of thermodynamics? So they will give 4 statements and you need to identify that. So in this way you can do the question. If you want to do this topic, just do the first 3 law of thermodynamics. I will not suggest to solve the numericals and spend 1 month only to do the thermodynamics. Then comes surface chemistry, adsorption. Surface chemistry, adsorption, Freundlich and Langmuir adsorption isotherm. Every time I found the question on this topic, Freundlich and Langmuir adsorption isotherm in every exam, every chemistry entrance exam, you will find Freundlich and Langmuir adsorption isotherm. Alternatively, Freundlich or Langmuir. Alternatively, they'll ask you the question. Graph, nature of the graph, even the PET isotherm is also asked, but you just do this 2 thoroughly, okay, without any confusion. Do this 2 points thoroughly. Then comes nuclear chemistry. Nuclear chemistry is binding energy. And one more point I included here, magic numbers. Magic numbers, you might be new to this concept, but magic numbers I found in 2 to 3 entrance exams. They ask the question on magic numbers. Then comes the crystal structure. Nuclear chemistry is again a very vast topic. If you want to do this topic, you just do the basics of nuclear chemistry. Means the isotope, isobar, then nucleus, nuclides. These are some terms. Radioactivity, decay kinetics. Decay kinetics is a slightly lengthy part, but you can do the binding energy and the basic terms involved in it, as well as the magic number. Magic number is again important point. They give the set of 4 numbers or 5 numbers, and they ask you which of the following set represents the magic number. This question, I think it is asked in one entrance exam. Then comes crystal structure. Crystal structure, 7 types of crystal system. तुम्हाला झोपेत जरी विचारलं ना 7 टाइप ऑफ क्रिस्टल सिस्टीम तर सांगता आल्या पाहिजे, कारण की याच्यावर सगळ्याच एंट्रन्स एक्झाम मध्ये क्वेश्चन विचारला जातो क्रिस्टल सिस्टीम्स वर. क्रिस्टल सिस्टीम, क्रिस्टल लॅटिस, युनिट सेल आणि ब्रॅग्स मेथड, ब्रॅग्स इक्वेशन, व्हेरी व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. न्यूमेरिकल विचारला जातो ब्रॅग्स मेथड वर. n lambda is equal to 2d sin theta. This is the simple equation, and based on this equation 2 to 3 numericals are asked, as well as the crystal systems they ask. 7 type of crystal systems are there. So do these points. You can do this in less time. This is the these are the topics which you can prepare within 1 month or within 2 months. Depending on the date of your examination, you can do these topics. Then comes electrochemistry. I will suggest you also do this topic from 12th standard textbook. Electrochemical cells, electrolytic cells, then different cells are there, types of electrodes are there, and numerical part is there. So this topic is very lengthy, but if you want to do some of the points from this topic, you can refer the 12th standard textbook. Then comes photochemistry. So photochemistry, I don't think many of you are aware about this topic, but you can do only 3 terms, and based on those 3 terms you will get question in your exam. Photochemistry: fluorescence, phosphorescence, quenching, and chemiluminescence. These 4 terms, do these 4 terms and the topic is closed. Photochemistry, you will get only these 4 points and the question related to these 4 points. Maximum chances I am telling you. Other syllabus is also equally important, but maximum chances are there that question can be asked based on this. according to the analysis of question papers. Okay. Inorganic chemistry. So this is all about the physical chemistry. Now we'll move to the inorganic chemistry. In inorganic chemistry, you will get straightforward question. No need to solve that question. Means no need to use any formula, or no need to write that reaction and find the product of final product in stepwise manner. So here you will get direct questions. स्टेटमेंटचे स्टेटमेंट विचारले जातात. जर तुम्ही हे वाचलेलं असेल तर तुम्हाला ते लगेच क्लिक होईल. इनऑर्गॅनिक केमिस्ट्री हा थिओरिटिकल पार्ट आहे जास्त. जसं फिजिकल मध्ये न्यूमरिकल्स विचारले जातात, ऑर्गॅनिक मध्ये रिॲक्शन्स असतात किंवा स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी असेल तर प्रॉब्लेम्स असतात. तसं इनऑर्गॅनिक हा फिजिकल आणि ऑर्गॅनिकच्या मधला सब्जेक्ट आहे. म्हणजे इथे तुम्ही मॉडरेट लेवलला जरी स्टडी केला तरी तुम्हाला जास्त मार्क्स मिळून जातील, कारण की स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चन विचारले जातात. मॉलिक्युलर ऑर्बिटल थिअरी, व्हॅलन्स बॉन्ड थिअरी, क्रिस्टल फील्ड थिअरी, या 3 थिअरीज व्यवस्थित करायच्या. आय थिंक 3rd इयरच्या इनऑर्गॅनिकच्या बुकमध्ये खूप छान एक्सप्लेनेशन दिलेलं आहे. ते निराली मनालीचे जे बुक्स असतात की जे आपण रेफर करतो, कुणी BSc पर्यंत स्टँडर्ड रेफरन्स बुक काय असतं, कसं वापरायचं ते आपण कधी केलेलं नसतं. आता कदाचित तुम्ही करत असाल, पण मॅक्सिमम स्टुडंट्सला माहितीच नसतं की स्टँडर्ड रेफरन्स बुक्स असतात. ते फक्त काय करतात, निराली मनालीचे बुक म्हणून अभ्यास करतात. मी असं नाही म्हणणार की ते बुक्स वाईट आहेत किंवा ते बुक्स वापरू नये, पण प्रॉब्लेम असा आहे की आपल्याला लिमिटेड नॉलेज मिळतं आणि जर आपल्याला डिटेल स्टडी करायचा असेल तर आपल्याला एखादं स्टँडर्ड रेफरन्स बुक यूज करावं लागतं. So for these topics, I will suggest you just read the 3rd year BSc Inorganic Chemistry textbook. That it is enough for these topics: molecular orbital theory, valence bond theory, LCAO principle, and the crystal field theory. These 3 theories are very, very important to solve many questions, and you will get direct questions: bond order calculation, magnetic properties, or even the coordination chemistry and the MCQs related to that are completely dependent on the crystal field theory. Then comes the coordination chemistry. I will suggest you just do this complete topic because it has maximum weightage from inorganic chemistry, coordination chemistry. Then chemistry of main group elements and their compounds. I will suggest you do this topic from 12th standard textbook. 12th standard textbook मध्ये लास्ट चॅप्टर आहे केमिस्ट्री ऑफ पी ब्लॉक एलिमेंट किंवा केमिस्ट्री ऑफ मेन ग्रुप एलिमेंट, आणि तो चॅप्टर जवळजवळ 50-60 पेजेसचा आहे. म्हणजे 12th स्टँडर्डला तो चॅप्टर इतका मोठा आहे. तर आपल्याला जे MSc किंवा BSc लेवलला तर तो खूपच मोठा आहे. त्यामुळे मी असं सजेस्ट करेल की जे मेन पॉइंट्स आहेत, म्हणजे प्रत्येक ग्रुपचे मेन ग्रुप म्हणजे पी ब्लॉक एलिमेंट्स. मेन ग्रुप इज पी ब्लॉक एलिमेंट्स ग्रुप. It starts from boron family and it ends at the noble gases. So these 5 to 6 groups are there, and every group you need to study. So I will suggest you do this topic from 12th standard book. And if you don't want to do complete topic, at least do boron, carbon and nitrogen family. Boron, carbon and nitrogen family. These 3 families. You will get maximum questions from first 3 families, first 3 groups. And if anyone wants to do the simple points from each group, from boron to noble gases, he or she can do from the 12th standard textbook. No need to refer any notes or any online study material. You just do this topic from 12th standard textbook. Then comes the chemistry of transition elements and the coordination compound. Bonding theories are there, means crystal field theory, ligand field theory, spectral and magnetic properties. So I will suggest again refer your BSc textbook because simple questions are asked, and majority time magnetic property वर क्वेश्चन विचारला जातो, मॅग्नेटिक मुवमेंट कॅल्क्युलेट करायला क्वेश्चन विचारला जातो. तर एवढं जरी केलं तरी तुम्हाला 2 ते 3 क्वेश्चन सॉल्व्ह करता येतील. Then comes metal, semiconductor, superconductor. If anyone want to skip this topic, they can skip. No need to do the complete topic. At least remember the difference between metal, semiconductor, superconductor and insulator. या 4 मधला डिफरन्स किंवा यांचा अर्थ काय आहे, मेटल्स म्हणजे काय, सेमीकंडक्टर, सुपरकंडक्टर, इन्सुलेटर, एवढं जरी केलं तरी सफिशियंट आहे. बाकी सगळं करण्याची गरज नाही. ओके. देन कम्स आयोनिक सॉलिड्स. अगेन दिस इज सिमिलर टू द क्रिस्टल स्ट्रक्चर टॉपिक फ्रॉम फिजिकल केमिस्ट्री. म्हणजे हा तो आणि हा टॉपिक एकच आहे. आयोनिक सॉलिड, क्रिस्टल स्ट्रक्चर, याच्यामध्ये पण क्रिस्टल सिस्टीम, क्रिस्टल स्ट्रक्चर आहे. आणि इथे मॅक्सिमम चान्सेस आहे पॅकिंग इफिशियन्सीवर क्वेश्चन विचारला जातो. पॅकिंग इफिशियन्सी आणि एखादा सॉल्ट किंवा एखादा मॉलिक्यूल दिला जातो आणि ते विचारतात की याचं स्ट्रक्चर कसं असेल. फॉर एक्झाम्पल NaCl. NaCl हॅज FCC, फेस सेंटर्ड क्युबिक स्ट्रक्चर. तर ते एक्झाम्पल्स आणि त्याचा एक चार्ट, हा सुद्धा चॅप्टर 12th स्टँडर्डच्या टेक्स्टबुक मध्ये खूप चांगल्या पद्धतीने दिलेला आहे. जर एखाद्याला नोट्स मिळत नसतील किंवा वाटत असेल की आमच्या बुकमध्ये हे, BScच्या बुकमध्ये हे अवघड आहे, त्यांनी सिम्पली 12th स्टँडर्डच्या बुकमधून हा चॅप्टर करावा. कारण की आताचा जो 12th स्टँडर्डचा सिलेबस आहे तो आणि आपला जो BScचा सिलेबस आहे तो थोडा सेमच असतो. फक्त आपल्याला थोडंसं ऍडव्हान्स लेवलचं असतं, त्यांना जरा बेसिक लेवलचं असतं. आणि तुमची जी एक्झाम आहे त्याच्यात मॅक्सिमम क्वेश्चन हे सिम्पल आणि मॉडरेट लेवलचे असणार आहेत. मॉडरेट लेवलचे, डिफिकल्ट लेवलचे क्वेश्चन्स खूप कमी असतील. ते थोडेसे डिफिकल्ट लेवलचे क्वेश्चन्स बघून आपण ठरवतो की हे एक्झाम खूप अवघड आहे, ही एक्झाम खूप अवघड आहे, पण ऍक्च्युली ते अवघड नसते. सिम्पल आणि मॉडरेट तुम्हाला विचारले जातात. आणि ज्या हाय लेवलच्या एक्झाम्स आहेत जसं की UPSC किंवा नेट, गेट. नेट आय थिंक इट्स इंडियाज टॉप, म्हणजे इंडियामधले जे टॉप 10 डिफिकल्ट एंट्रन्स एक्झाम्स आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये नेटचा समावेश होतो. तर ऑब्व्हियसली तिथे तुम्हाला करावंच लागणार आहे. तिथे तुम्हाला डिफिकल्ट टॉपिक पण करावेच लागतील. असं नाही होणार की स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चन्स मिळतील. पण हे जे एक्झाम्स आहेत MScच्या एंट्रन्स एक्झाम, त्याच्यामध्ये बऱ्यापैकी सिम्पल क्वेश्चन्स विचारले जातात. नेक्स्ट इज स्कॉटकी डिफेक्ट अँड फ्रँकल डिफेक्ट. Do this two defects and their difference, Schottky defect, Frankel defect. You will definitely get question in your upcoming exam also. Heterogeneous and homogeneous catalysis. You might have heard about the different industrial processes using catalyst. Ziegler-Natta catalysis, Monsanto acetic acid process, Wacker process, then Wilkinson's catalyst. Several processes are there, industrial processes. Based on that, 1 or 2 questions are asked. If anyone want to skip this topic, they can skip. But don't skip these above topics. Coordination chemistry and this ionic solid. Don't skip these topics. Maximum questions or work on these topics. Give your more time for these topics. Then comes bioinorganic chemistry. You can do bioinorganic chemistry 5 to 6 days before your exam, before your entrance exam, because this is just a mugging up part. Actually concepts are there, but you need to memorize those concepts. You need to remember the concept. For example, which of the following metal ion is present in hemoglobin? Iron is present in hemoglobin. We all know this thing. But whenever other things are there or other things are considered from the bioinorganic chemistry topic, it will be confusing. ते कन्फ्युजन क्रिएट करू शकतं. मेटल आयन्स तर प्रत्येक प्रोटीन मध्ये किंवा एखाद्या मेटॅलो एन्झाईम मध्ये असतातच. मग कोणता मेटल आयन कशामध्ये असतो किंवा कशाचं काय रोल आहे हे सगळं तुम्ही 2 महिन्याआधी जर वाचलं आणि डायरेक्ट तुम्ही एक्झामला जाऊन बसले तर तुम्हाला अजिबात आठवणार नाही किंवा एकदम 0.1-0.2% तुम्हाला ते आठवेल. तर बेटर वे हा टॉपिक जो आहे त्याच्या नोट्स फक्त डाउनलोड करून ठेवायच्या किंवा रेडी ठेवायच्या आणि सॉर्ट आउट करायचं की यातले हे टॉपिक्स करायचे. आणि ते डिरेक्टली ना एक्झामच्या आधीच 5-6 दिवस आधी वाचायचं. 5-6 दिवस आधी वाचलं ना दोनदा तीनदा तरी सुद्धा तुम्हाला सॉल्व्ह करता येतील बायो ऑर्गॅनिक केमिस्ट्रीचे क्वेश्चन. आणि हा टॉपिक सुद्धा स्किप करू नका. जर एखादा म्हणेल की माझ्या लक्षातच राहत नाही आणि मी केले म्हणजे करणारच नाही, तसं करू नका. एकदा वाचा, लक्षात राहिलं तर ठीक, नाही राहिलं तरी ठीक, पण स्किप करू नका. मार्क गेनिंग चॅप्टर आहे, छोटासा चॅप्टर आहे. आय थिंक BSc 3rd इयर मध्ये सुद्धा बायो ऑर्गॅनिक केमिस्ट्री चॅप्टर आहे. आणि लक्षात ठेवायचंय, फक्त पाठ करा असं नाही म्हणणार मी, जितकं शक्य आहे तेवढं लक्षात ठेवा. दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द इनऑर्गॅनिक केमिस्ट्री. I hope there is no network issue and I am audible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Then comes organic chemistry. Organic chemistry, IUPAC nomenclature of organic compounds. Very simple topic. But if you don't know the method of IUPAC nomenclature, it will be a trap for you. Because this topic, I think the chemistry, we started the study of chemistry in 11th standard with this chapter only, IUPAC nomenclature. Everyone should know this. Without nomenclature, how can you identify the compound? So do this topic. If anyone still, if you feel that I don't know how to give nomenclature, do the basic part or study it from the 11th standard textbook. 11-12 standard textbook आहे ना, ट्रेजर आहेत. म्हणजे मला तरी असं वाटतं की एखाद्याला जर एखादा पॉइंट माहिती नसेल किंवा एकदम बेसिक कन्सेप्ट स्टडी करायचं असेल ना, 11-12 स्टँडर्डचं बुक हे प्रत्येकाकडे असलंच पाहिजे. त्यातून आपले बेसिक क्लिअर होतात आणि जे हाय लेवलचं असतं, मग ऍडव्हान्स लेवलचं जे असतं ते आपण पुढच्या रेफरन्स बुक मधून करू शकतोय. ते बेस आहे, पाया येतो केमिस्ट्रीचा 11th स्टँडर्डचे टेक्स्टबुक. तुम्ही जर एकदम फॉरेन ऑथर्सचे किंवा एकदम रिसर्च पेपर किंवा फॉरेन ऑथरच्या याच्यातून अभ्यास जरी केला ना आणि तुमचा बेसच कच्चा असेल तर तुम्ही काही करू शकत नाही. कारण की बेसिक नॉलेज असणं खूप गरजेचं आहे. तर ऑर्गॅनिक केमिस्ट्रीची सुरुवातच कंपाऊंड्स, फंक्शनल ग्रुप आणि IUPAC नॉमेनक्लेचर पासून होते. तर एखाद्याला जर ऑर्गॅनिक केमिस्ट्रीचा स्टडी करायचा तर त्याने सगळ्यात पहिला तो चॅप्टर रीड केला पाहिजे. IUPAC नॉमेनक्लेचर 15-20 एक्झाम्पल सॉल्व्ह केले पाहिजे नॉमेनक्लेचरचे. देन कम्स स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ ऑर्गॅनिक ऍसिड्स अँड बेसिस, origin of acidity, basicity, pK व्हॅल्यू, pKb व्हॅल्यू यांच्या बेसिसवर ना ऑर्डरिंगचे क्वेश्चन्स येतात. म्हणजे इन्क्रीजिंग ऑर्डरमध्ये अरेंज करायला सांगतात, डिक्रीजिंग ऑर्डरमध्ये अरेंज करायला सांगतात, किंवा काही कंपाऊंड्स देतात आणि विचारतात की यांच्यामध्ये जे 4 कंपाऊंड देतील आणि ते विचारतील की खालीलपैकी कोणत्या कंपाऊंडची पीके व्हॅल्यू जास्त आहे किंवा सगळ्यात कमी पीके व्हॅल्यू कशाची आहे. असे क्वेश्चन्स या पॉइंट मधून विचारले जातात. ओके. देन स्टेरियोकेमिस्ट्री ऑफ डायसब्स्टिट्यूटेड सायक्लोहेक्सेन. सो many students found this topic a bit difficult, stereochemistry, कारण की याच्यामध्ये ना 3 dimensional imagination असतं. above the plane, below the plane, त्यानंतर रोटेशन्स असतात, असं बरेच याच्यात इन्क्लुडेड आहेत. तर बऱ्याच जणांना स्टेरियोकेमिस्ट्री अवघड वाटतं, पण ज्यांना लॉंग टर्म मध्ये ऑर्गॅनिक केमिस्ट्रीचा स्टडी करायचा आहे त्या स्टुडंटसाठी मी सांगेन की स्टेरियोकेमिस्ट्रीला अवॉइड करू नका, त्याला स्किप करू नका. सुरुवातीला ते अवघड वाटेल पण नंतर ते एकदम इंटरेस्टिंग बनत जातं. खूप साऱ्या अशा रिॲक्शन्स आहेत की ज्याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही स्टेरियोकेमिस्ट्री जर माहिती नसेल तर तुम्ही प्रोडक्ट आयडेंटिफाय करू शकत नाही. तर स्टेरियोकेमिस्ट्रीला निग्लेक्ट करू नका. पण जर तुम्ही आता MSc एंट्रन्ससाठी प्रिपेअर करत असाल आणि तुमच्याकडे कमी वेळ असेल तर तुम्ही हा टॉपिक स्किप करू शकता. इथे फक्त तुम्ही ऑप्टिकल आयसोमेरिझम, इनॅन्टिओमर, डायस्टेरिओमर हे जे सिंपल पॉइंट्स आहेत तेवढे केले तरी सफिशियंट आहे. देन न्यूक्लियोफिलिक सबस्टिट्यूशन ॲट ॲलिफॅटिक कार्बन, SN1 SN2 mechanism, SNI mechanism. So these 3 mechanisms are very important and we are studying this from junior classes. So you should know these 3 mechanisms thoroughly. Then comes the reactions. reactions, name reactions, and rearrangement reaction. These are the maximum contributing factors or maximum contributing topics in organic chemistry. Markovnikov's rule, anti-Markovnikov's rule, it is also called as a peroxide effect. Then comes hydroxylation, cis and trans 1,2-diols. I think this is most frequently asked topic, hydroxylation, hydroboration oxidation reaction, hydrogenation, formation of alkene, and ozonolysis. Don't skip these highlighted points. You can do other topics also, but don't skip these because maximum questions are asked based on these topics. Then comes elimination reaction, E1, E2, E1 CP mechanism, Hoffman and Sedgwick's elimination. From this topic, elimination reaction, at least do this Hoffman and Sedgwick's elimination. Then comes name reactions. Some name reactions are there. Friedel-Crafts acylation, Friedel-Crafts alkylation, diazocoupling. But FC, that is Friedel-Crafts alkylation, acylation, very famous reaction in organic chemistry. And they will not ask you difficult level question. They'll simply ask you the product or the catalyst or the reactant A, B, C, अशा टाइपचे stepwise किंवा फक्त एकच प्रोडक्ट विचारलं जाईल. सिंपल क्वेश्चन विचारले जातात, पण माहिती नसल्यामुळे आपल्याला तो पेपर अवघड वाटतो. बाकी ते सिंपलच विचारतात. BSc, MSc लेवलला जे खूपच सिंपल विचारलं जातं. Friedel-Crafts reactions, then aldol condensation, Claisen, Dickmann, Perkin condensation, Wittig reaction or Wittig reagent and the aldol reaction. Very very important. या दोनवर तर तुम्हाला डेफिनेटली क्वेश्चन विचारलं जाईल, विट्टिग आणि aldol वर. Then comes rearrangement. Beckmann, Baeyer-Villiger, Pinacol, Pinacolan, Curtius, Pawlowski, Claisen. These rearrangement reactions are again frequently asked at BSc or MSc entrance exam level. There are hundreds of name reaction and rearrangement reactions available, and this is just a few numbers, 4 to 5. But according to this syllabus, this is sufficient. No need to take a standard reference book for preparation of name reaction and the rearrangement reaction at your BSc or MSc level. You can do the reactions which are given in your syllabus. As I already said that you need to stick to the syllabus of that particular entrance examination. Don't read unnecessary information. If you crack that, or whenever you crack that exam and whenever you get the admission in PG course, you can read the standard reference book. That time you cannot give any excuse for reading the standard reference book. Okay, but for cracking entrance examination, this is sufficient. No need to do the extra. Spectroscopy, very I think easiest topic if you study thoroughly, and mark gaining. Structure identification, NMR, IR, UV. NMR, IR, UV. तुमच्या BSc लेवलच्या बुक मध्ये भरपूर प्रॉब्लेम्स दिलेले आहेत. त्यातलेच प्रॉब्लेम तुम्हाला MCQ फॉर्मॅटमध्ये विचारले जातात. तेवढंच करायचं. बाकी कुठलाही बाकीचं मटेरियल डाउनलोड करून त्याच्याकडून नोट्स विकत घेऊन झेरॉक्स घेऊन वाचायची गरज नाही. तुमच्याकडे आहे त्याच मटेरियल मध्ये, स्टडी मटेरियल मध्ये तुम्ही व्यवस्थित स्टडी करू शकता. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द syllabus of entrance examination, and more or less it is same at university level and at college level. So do these highlighted points with more focus, and if you have time you can do the other topics also. I will not say that skip other topics. If you have time, at least read once or twice, but these highlighted points, don't skip these highlighted points. This is my analysis. According to me, most frequently asked questions are based on these topics. If you analyze the question paper and the syllabus, you will also find similar topics which are frequently asked. Everyone has different analysis strategy. So according to you, you just analyze. Okay. Now I think it's 11:25 already. So we need to take it fast. Let me know the presentation is visible or not. It's loading. It's visible or not?
Not yet, ma'am. Yes, now it's visible.
Okay, okay. Which slide is?
Session agenda.
Okay, not moving forward. पुढच्या स्लाइड नाही दिसत का सर?
Which slide you want, ma'am? Stepwise preparation.
No, subjects: organic, inorganic, physical, and biochemistry.
Just a minute. Huh? Slide number 6. Yes, subjects: organic, inorganic, and physical.
Now I am on the slide number 8. Must know concepts.
Okay.
It's visible.
Yes.
Okay. Must know concept. These are the concepts which help you in solving all the MCQs, because every MCQ includes element, then element has in electronic configuration, atomic number. So these are some must know concepts you cannot skip. Unit conversions. I think Gayatri Kadam has raised hand.
Yes, Gayatri.
Side is not visible.
Please sit in a proper internet connection, because it is visible to many other students.
Okay.
You can leave the meeting and rejoin again. Must know concept: unit conversions, periodic table. I already told you periodic table is the heart of chemistry. So prefer it. Do it thoroughly. Periodic table. Then quantum numbers, different laws in basic chemistry. Laws in basic chemistry means Hund's rule of multiplicity, Pauling's exclusion principle, then Avogadro's law, Boyle's law, ideal gas law. So these are some basic laws, but very important concepts in chemistry. Quantum numbers. Many students don't know the difference between atomic number, atomic mass, or the quantum numbers, orbital, shell. So to get this information, you should study this topic. Reagents in organic chemistry, IUPAC nomenclature. So these are some must-know concepts. Unit conversions are required for solving the numericals. Without unit conversion, you cannot solve. You can solve the numerical, but you will not get the correct answer. So unit conversions are again important. Then comes other concepts are there, but according to me, these are yes.
Yes, Pratik. I think slides are not visible to them.
I will stop.
Yes, you stop and share it again.
I will share my screen, because when I will share screen, it is visible to. Just tell me the screen is visible or not. Screen is visible or not?
Yes, it's visible. We can see folder.
Okay, I'm sharing the screen. presentation.
Yes, it's visible, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll quickly move on to the next slide. Study material. For starting the preparation, you need some books with you. You cannot randomly start it from the internet or from any other source. So you need some hard copies, because this online era is started just 1 or 2 years before, and we are studying from our LKG to 2019 with the help of hard copies. So it is more effective to have hard copy of the textbook or study material to study effectively. So I will suggest at least have these copies with you. 11th and 12th standard book, no need to buy these books. If you already have with you, it is okay, or you can borrow it for some time for any 11th standard student, and start your preparation with these books. Don't start it using the standard reference books like J.D. Lee or Claydon. You will fall asleep. Means it will be very difficult to carry those books. They are very heavy books, and you feel that the chemistry is very difficult and I cannot do this chemistry and I cannot pursue career in chemistry. So I will suggest start your preparation with the 11th and 12th standard book, and you will find that many interesting concepts are there. When we are in our 11th or 12th standard, that time, because of the change of school or college, or because of many other factors, we are not into this syllabus. We just want to clear that 11th and 12th standard, and we want admission in engineering, BSc or medical field. So we are not focusing on the concept, or we are not enjoying that subject at the 11th and 12th standard level. So now if you pick these books, 11th and 12th standard chemistry book, you will find it is more interesting, and you will memorize many things that we studied this topic at that time, but with the time or with the years, we forget these things. So it will brush up your knowledge. It will give a proper way to start your preparation. So have these books with you. State board or CBSE, you can have any. BSc textbook, you already have this textbook with you. This is the stepwise study material. Don't directly start reading the Claydon, J.D. Lee or the Atkins. You will not get anything. It will just sheer wastage of time. And if anyone really wants to pursue career in chemistry, in your PG also, after your PG also, they can refer these reference books. These are the standard reference books for different subjects by different authors. Foreign authors are also there and Indian authors are there. Hard copies are available, but they are a bit expensive. 1,000 to 1,000 rupees hard copies are there. No need to buy. We have a number of websites from which you can download the PDF free of cost. pdfdrive.com. Many of the chemistry reference books are available free on this website, pdfdrive.com. You should know the correct name of that book. Just copy paste it into the search box of the pdfdrive.com and download that textbook. It's free of cost. You can download any textbook. Physical chemistry. For physical chemistry, Puri Sharma and Pathania. This is the Indian author book. Again, O.P. Tandon is the Indian author book. Peter Atkins and Giulio Di Paula. This is the foreign author book, and this book is important because it includes advanced level concepts. Okay, but if you feel the language is a bit difficult, you can use the Indian author reference books. Okay, all are equally valuable. Then comes inorganic chemistry. Actually, I know these books from physical chemistry. It might be less. There are other books also available, but I found these are easy to understand. Puri Sharma and Pathania, O.P. Tandon. These books are easy to understand. Simple language, you can easily understood it. Inorganic chemistry. Puri Sharma and Kalia book is there. Again, the Indian author book. Concise Inorganic Chemistry by J.D. Lee. This is a very famous book and it is available on the pdfdrive.com. No need to read the complete book. Read the selective topics from this book. Okay, Catherine Housecraft, this and Alan Sharpey. This book is also available on the internet. Free PDF download. You can download the PDF. Ramlingam. This book is not available in soft copy. This is the name of author, Ramlingam. I have the hard copy of this book, but I don't know whether the soft copy is available or not. Then comes Organometallic Chemistry by Ajay Kumar. Even the Coordination Chemistry by Ajay Kumar. This book is very famous for the preparation of chemistry entrance examination. And Organometallic Chemistry by B.D. Gupta. This PDF is available on the internet. Even the Ajay Kumar PDF is also available on the internet. You need to put the name of author and the book. You will get at least 5 to 10 links for downloading that PDF. Then organic chemistry. I don't know the more about organic chemistry. Pandit sir can tell you about the organic chemistry. I know this much of reference book only. Claydon, very famous. It is called as a Bible of organic chemistry. Claydon. Then Name Reactions by S.N. Sanyal. This is a very small book, like a story book. Very small book for name reaction. And now I found this very useful. Even one more book is there. Ahluwalia. I don't exactly know the name of that book, but Indian author book, very useful. Organic Name Reactions by K.R. Desai. Then William Carothers. This book is very, very important for the preparation of GATE and NET examination, even for UPSC also. This book is referred. विलियम कॅरोथर्स अँड कोल्डम. कॅरोथरच्या नावाने ते फेमस आहे, जसं क्लेडन आहे, कॅरोथर आहे. क्लेडन, कॅरोथर, नान्स, देन जेरी मार्श. But no need to read every reference book completely. You need to do some topics from each reference book. So for that purpose, you have to analyze. You need to analyze the reference book, syllabus, and the question paper. Modern Methods of Organic Synthesis by Carothers. This book, I found this very useful. Otherwise, if you want to prepare only for the MSc entrance exam, BSc textbook and 11th, 12th standard textbook and the reactions given in those textbooks are sufficient. Okay. Then comes online study material. There are different websites. Byju's, you will get free MCQs and the study material. जेवढं काही फ्री कंटेंट आहे ते तुम्ही इथे यूज करू शकता. ते सांगतात की हे बाय करा किंवा म्हणजे हे परचेस करा, हा प्लॅन परचेस करा, काही गरज नाहीये. तुम्ही एक टॉपिक बायजूस वरून स्टडी केला, सपोज त्याच्या पुढचं तुम्हाला मिळत नाहीये, तुम्ही दुसऱ्या वेबसाईटवर सर्च करा. गरज नाहीये की लगेचच त्यांचा प्लॅन खरेदी करायचा. इवन अनअकॅडमी, आय फॉरगेट टू मेन्शन, आय एम नॉट advertising these websites or any online platform, but they are useful. YouTube is free of cost, anyone can use. Unacademy वर सुद्धा खूप सारे फ्री लेक्चर्स आहेत. म्हणजे जर एखादा कोचिंग अफोर्ड करू शकत नसेल किंवा एखादा कन्सेप्ट समजत नसेल तर तुम्ही अनअकॅडमी वरून ते समजून घेऊ शकता. भरपूर मटेरियल आहे की जे फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट आहे अनअकॅडमीवर. देन एज्युरेव ही एक वेबसाईट आहे, याच्यावर तुम्हाला MCQs मिळतील. स्टॅन फाउंड्री आहे, याच्यावर पण MCQs मिळतात. chem.libertext ही एक अशी वेबसाईट आहे की ज्याच्यावर तुम्हाला कंटेंट मिळेल आणि कमी शब्दात खूप छान एक्सप्लेन केलेला कंटेंट या वेबसाईटवर मिळतो. topper.com वर MCQ फ्री टेस्ट असतात आणि तिथेच खाली सोल्युशन पण असतं MCQ सॉल्व्ह केल्यानंतर. सपोज तुम्ही आन्सर टिक केलं, 10 क्वेश्चन्स आहे, 10 क्वेश्चन सॉल्व्ह करायचे, टेस्ट सबमिट करायची आणि मग तिथे सोल्युशन पण येतं. सपोज तुमचा आन्सर चुकीचा असेल तर ते करेक्ट सॉल्व्ह केलेलं खाली दिलेलं असतं. तर ही एक वेबसाईट आहे YouTube. We all know YouTube. So no need to explain this. ऑनलाईन फ्री मॉक टेस्ट सुद्धा असतात. प्रत्येक वेळी टेस्ट परचेस करण्याची गरज नाही, तुम्ही ते डिरेक्टली फ्री सुद्धा यूज करू शकता. काही टॉपिक्स असे असतील की जे खरंच तुम्हाला मिळणार नाही, तर त्यासाठी तुम्ही एखाद दुसरं बुक खरेदी केलं तरी काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही. पण विनाकारण 10-15 हजार स्टडी मटेरियलला खर्च करण्यात काहीच पॉइंट नाहीये. फ्री स्टडी मटेरियल अवेलेबल असतं. तुम्ही जस्ट नाव जरी टाकलं ना टॉपिकचं गुगल क्रोम मध्ये, तरी तुम्हाला त्याच्या रिलेटेड खूप साऱ्या गोष्टी मिळतात. सो ऑनलाईन स्टडी मटेरियल, then previous year questions. We'll start discussion of previous year questions. Because of the less time, I think only 15 minutes are remaining. So we'll take only 1 or 2 questions for understanding the level of questions. Then we'll take the doubt session or the discussion session. When crystal field splitting del octahedral is 10 dq and the pairing energy is P, the crystal field stabilization energy CFSE for the diamagnetic octahedral cobalt ammonia complex is given here. Octahedral complex is given here. So they ask the crystal field stabilization energy, and options are 24 dq, 18 dq, 24 dq plus 3p, and 24 dq plus 2p. So for solving this concept, one should know the crystal field theory. Without the crystal field theory understanding, you cannot solve this question. What crystal field theory means what? I will quickly explain you. Crystal field theory is based on the repulsion of electrons between metals and the metals electron and the ligands electron. Because of the repulsion of electrons between metal and the ligands, splitting takes place. Splitting of degenerate orbitals takes place. We know that d orbital, 5 d orbitals are there. In absence of ligand field, in absence of ligands, all the 5 orbitals are in the same energy level, at the same energy level. We call it as a degenerate. Degenerate means at equal energy level, same energy level. But because of the ligand field influence, because of the ligand field electron, the energy levels get split into 2 levels, ground state and the excited state. And the splitting again depends on the nature of the ligand. For that purpose, we require the spectrochemical series. So for solving single question, you need to have the knowledge of 2 to 3 concepts. Metal ion, its atomic number, its electronic configuration, spectrochemical series, and the crystal field theory. If you have this knowledge, you can quickly solve this question. No need to study the complete theory. Do the specific things. 3D transition series. Everyone should know the 3D transition series in detail. Without 3D transition series, you cannot solve any MCQ, because if you don't know the atomic number and the electronic configuration, how can you move forward for solving that MCQ? For example, cobalt. If you take the cobalt atomic number 24, it will be wrong, because cobalt is 27 and its electronic configuration is D7s2. D7s2. If you remove 3 electrons, it becomes D6. Means by filling the electrons, you need to fill only 6 electrons in it. Okay, so 6 electrons are there, and they mention in the question that diamagnetic complex. Diamagnetic means all electrons are paired. All electrons are paired. So you need to fill all the 6 electrons in the T2G level only, and calculate the CFSE. For calculating CFSE, formula is very important. What is the formula for the calculation of CFSE? In octahedral complexes, it is number of electrons in T2G into minus 0.4 plus number of electrons in EG into 0.6. If you calculate this, minus 2.4 del octahedral plus 3p. 3p indicates there are 3 pairs of electrons. 6 electrons form 3 pairs. 6 electron forms 3 pairs. So I think something went wrong. Okay. So the answer is 2.4 minus 2.4 del octahedral plus 3p because there are 3 pairing electrons. So what will be the correct answer? What will be the correct answer? Irrespective of sign, select the option. 2.4 ला जर 10 ने मल्टिप्लाय केलं तर त्याचा आन्सर 24 येतं. So 24 dq plus 3p. Option number C is correct. So in this way, you need to approach the question. And for crystal field splitting or CFSE, you should know the crystal field theory. Then this is the direct question. Which of the following vitamin contains cobalt 2 plus iron? Vitamin E, vitamin B12, folic acid, biotin. This is a theory question. Bio inorganic chemistry मधला question आहे. Cobalt 2 plus कुठल्या vitamin मध्ये असतो? So as I know, this is present in vitamin B12. Vitamin B12. But if you have, तुम्ही जर कधीच हे वाचलेलं नसेल, if you haven't read it before and you start guessing it, definitely it is wrong. तुम्ही जर विटॅमिन B12 च्या ऐवजी विटॅमिन ई लिहिलं, ऑब्विसली ते रॉंग असणार आहे. त्यासाठी वाचलेलं पाहिजे. इथे काही सॉल्विंग नाहीये की मी सॉल्व करून बघतो किंवा बघते आलं तर आलं असं नाहीये. स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चन आहे, थिअरी क्वेश्चन आहे. त्यासाठी तुम्हाला तो कन्सेप्ट क्लिअरली माहिती असणं गरजेचं आहे. पॉइंट. ओके. कोबाल्ट 2 प्लस विटॅमिन B12 मध्ये असतो. देन हा ऑर्गॅनिकचा क्वेश्चन आहे. आता आपण जरा फास्ट जाऊया. इकडे झिग्लर-नाटक कॅटलिस्ट विचारले. झिग्लर-नाटक कॅटलिस्ट कशासाठी वापरला जातो? तर ती झिग्लर-नाटक प्रोसेस आणि कॅटलिस्ट हे तुम्हाला माहिती पाहिजे. देन ऑर्गॅनिक ऑक्सिजन फॉर्मेशन इन फोटोसिंथेसिस इज कॅटलाइज्ड बाय. बायो ऑर्गॅनिकचा क्वेश्चन आहे अगेन. मॅग्नेशियम कंटेनिंग एन्झाइम हे याचा आन्सर आहे. मॅग्नेशियम कंटेनिंग एन्झाइम. यू नो क्लोरोफिल. Chlorophyll is a plant pigment, and in chlorophyll, magnesium is present at the center of the system. So oxygen formation ही जी रिएक्शन होते, वॉटर फॉर्मेशन ऑक्सिजन मध्ये केलं जातं, तर ही जी कंप्लीट रिएक्शन होते ही मॅग्नेशियम कंटेनिंग एन्झाइम कॅटलाइज करतो. ओके. सो अगेन हा बायोऑर्गॅनिकचा क्वेश्चन आहे. अशा पद्धतीने तुम्ही क्वेश्चन्सला टॅकल करू शकता. हा जो ॲलोट्रॉपचा क्वेश्चन आहे हा कार्बनचे ॲलोट्रॉप मेन्शन केलेले आहेत. तर हा क्वेश्चन मेन ग्रुपचा आहे. मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं की 12th स्टँडर्डच्या बुक मधून तुम्ही हा चॅप्टर रीड करा. एका दिवसात होऊन जाईल. एका दिवसात म्हणण्यापेक्षा 2 तास खूप झाले तो चॅप्टर करण्यासाठी. वाचलं तरी सफिशियंट आहे. द मोस्ट अबंडंट नोबेल गॅस. आता हा आपण स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चन आहे. कुठलाही लॉजिक नाहीये किंवा कुठलाही सॉल्विंग नाहीये. तुम्हाला माहिती पाहिजे की मोस्ट अबंडंट नोबेल गॅस हा आर्गॉन आहे, तरच तुमचा आन्सर करेक्ट आहे. गेसवर्क चालणार नाही. डॅनियल सेल म्हणजे काय? इलेक्ट्रोकेमिकल सेल आहे. परत इथे कन्फ्यूज केलंय रिव्हर्सिबल आणि इरिव्हर्सिबल मध्ये. तर तुम्हाला करेक्ट माहिती पाहिजे की रिव्हर्सिबल इलेक्ट्रोकेमिकल सेल आहे. अशा पद्धतीने तुम्ही MCQ टॅकल करू शकता. आणि जे सॉल्विंगचे MCQ असतात तर त्यासाठी तुम्हाला मेथड माहिती पाहिजे. जसं की इकडे मॉलिक्युलर शेप विचारलाय. आता हे पाठ करण्याची गरज नाही, याच्यासाठी ट्रिक आहे. हायब्रिडायझेशन फाइंड आउट करण्याची ट्रिक आहे. त्यावरून तुम्हाला मॉलिक्युलचा शेप कळतो. आता I of 5 हा स्क्वेअर पिरॅमिडल असतो. स्क्वेअर पिरॅमिडल. तर हे पाठ करण्याची गरज नाहीये किंवा लक्षात ठेवण्याची गरज नाही, हे तुम्ही ट्रिकने सॉल्व्ह करू शकता. पण हा जो टिअर गॅसचा क्वेश्चन आहे हा तुम्हाला माहिती पाहिजे. म्हणजे हा डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन आहे, इथे तुम्हाला काही सॉल्विंग नाहीये पण इन्फॉर्मेशन रिलेटेड आहे. सो 2-chlorobenzyl nitrile. So this is the correct answer for tear gas. टिअर गॅसचं केमिकल फॉर्म्युला विचारलेला आहे. तर इथे तुम्हाला इन्फॉर्मेशन पाहिजे तरच तुम्ही करेक्ट ऑप्शन चूज करू शकता, गेस वर्क चालणार नाही. पण हा जो IF5चा क्वेश्चन आहे इथे ट्रिक आहे सॉल्व्ह करण्याची. ती ट्रिक शिकलात की तुम्ही कुठलाही क्वेश्चन आणि त्याचा शेप, कुठलाही मॉलिक्यूल आणि त्याचा शेप फाइंड आउट करू शकता किंवा त्याचा हायब्रिडायझेशन फाइंड आउट करू शकता. हा वरचा जो क्वेश्चन आहे नंबर ऑफ अनपेड इलेक्ट्रॉन्सचा इन द कॉम्प्लेक्स कोबाल्ट F6 3-. आय थिंक आपण मगाशी एक क्वेश्चन सॉल्व्ह केला तिथेच दिलेलं होतं. आता इथे कोबाल्टचे ऑक्सिडेशन स्टेट माहिती पाहिजे. हियर कोबाल्ट इज प्रेझेंट इन +3 ऑक्सिडेशन. Cobalt +3. Cobalt +3 means D6 electronic system. So unpaired electrons विचारलेले आहेत. तर इथे तुम्हाला स्प्लिटिंग डायग्राम हाय स्पिन काढायची आहे की लो स्पिन काढायची आहे, एनर्जी गॅप जास्त ठेवायचा आहे की कमी ठेवायचा आहे, हे कोण डिसाइड करेल? जो लिगेंड आहे तो डिसाइड करेल. आता फ्लोरीन हा वीक फील्ड लिगेंड आहे, त्यामुळे जो एनर्जी गॅप असेल तो खूप कमी असणार आहे. आणि एनर्जी गॅप कमी असतो याचा अर्थ काय होतो की इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हे इझिली T2G लेवल मधून EG लेवल मध्ये जाऊ शकतात. आणि इथे आपल्याला हाय स्पिन कॉम्प्लेक्स मिळेल. हाय स्पिन म्हणजे काय? मॅक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हे अनपेअर्ड असतील. आपण प्रिव्हियस स्लाइडवर जाऊया, तिथे तुम्हाला लगेच लक्षात. See this complex COF6 3-. Because of the weak field splitting diagram, only 2 electrons are paired and remaining 4 electrons are unpaired. तर ही डायग्राम ड्रॉ करावी लागेल तरच तुम्हाला कळेल की किती इलेक्ट्रॉन्स अनपेअर्ड आहेत. तर बरेचसे MCQ सॉल्व्ह करण्यासाठी तुम्हाला CFT माहिती असणं गरजेचं आहे, क्रिस्टल फील्ड थ्योरी माहिती असणं गरजेचं आहे. So this is all about the questions and the strategy of the examination. Timetable. Now you know the study material, you have the study material, but you don't have time. How can you crack the exam? You need to spend some time. It is not a short trick, or there is no short trick, or there is no shortcut for this exam, for any entrance exam. If you have less time, you need to study 5 to 7 hours daily. And if you have more time, or if you are planning for the long run, then you can study 3 hours every day, 3 hours every day, or you can randomly do the concepts from internet. Study regularly. Regular study is important. Revision tips: while you are studying, short notes, make short notes. Try to revise weekly. Throughout the week तुम्ही जे काय करता ते वीकली रिवाइज करा आणि लगेचच त्याचे क्वेश्चन सॉल्व्ह करा. तुम्ही कुठल्याही कोचिंग क्लासमध्ये गेले किंवा तुम्ही कुठल्याही मोठ्या इन्स्टिट्यूटमध्ये ऍडमिशन घेतलं, ते तुम्हाला हेच गोष्टी सांगणार आहेत, वेगळं काही सांगत नाही. आणि ते तुमच्याकडून करून घेतील, इतकाच फरक असतो. ते तुमच्याकडून करून घेतील, पण परत तुमच्यावर डिपेंड आहे की तुम्हाला करायचं की नाही करायचं. समोरचं फक्त तुम्हाला सांगू शकतो की हे करा ते करा, पण तुम्ही करायचं की नाही हे तुम्ही ठरवायचं. So success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Means if you failed in this exam, to crack this exam, it doesn't mean that you failed in your life. So don't get demotivated. If you fail to crack this exam, try next time. Again try. Every time it is not possible that you will get failure. Sometimes you will be successful. Your exam and your study will match one day, and that day will be yours. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to count that. It is the courage to continue that counts. तुम्ही ते कंटिन्यू केलं पाहिजे की फेल जरी झाले ना, परत एकदा ट्राय करायचंय, परत एकदा ट्राय करायचंय. आता सपोज MSc एंट्रन्स आहे, तुम्हाला नाही मिळालं युनिव्हर्सिटीमध्ये ऍडमिशन, तर असं नाहीये ना की तुम्हाला कॉलेजला नाही मिळणार. कॉलेजला ऍडमिशन घ्या, परत पुढच्या एंट्रन्ससाठी तयारी करा. ओके, पण एक डेडलाईन द्यायची आहे, त्या डेडलाईन पर्यंत ते सगळ्या गोष्टी ठेवायच्या आहेत. ओके, कन्सिस्टन्सी इज मोर इम्पॉर्टंट दॅन परफेक्शन. सपोज तुम्ही 1 वर्षापूर्वी एक कन्सेप्ट केला आणि त्यात तुम्ही एकदम परफेक्ट झालात, पण त्यानंतर तुम्ही तो डिरेक्टली एक्झाम मध्येच क्वेश्चन सॉल्व्ह करायला घेतलात, कदाचित तुमचा क्वेश्चन रॉंग येऊ शकतो, कारण की तुम्ही तो कधी रिवाइजच केला नाही. 1 वर्षापूर्वी तो कन्सेप्ट केला होता किंवा 2-3 वर्षापूर्वी तो कन्सेप्ट केला होता. सो त्याला रिवाइज करणं, ब्रशअप करणं खूप गरजेचं आहे. सो कन्सिस्टंटली प्रयत्न करणं गरजेचं आहे. देन यू कॅनॉट or you can crack any exam. You can crack any exam. Okay, thank you all of you. I hope you understood the strategy and the things I told you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for very nice and excellent talk. I know the time limit is there, and we'll definitely organize such lectures again in future. So if you have any questions, you can just ask, because you already, all of you are unmuted. Okay, so Sunny. Just unmute yourself and ask the question. Is there any question?
If you have any question, you can ask freely. We have 5 more minutes.
Okay, I don't think they are asking now. If you have a question, you can ask us on the Telegram, because you are there on Telegram group as well as on WhatsApp group. So you have contact numbers. You just ask question. We will be like very happy to answer all this type of questions. Okay, so I think